Hello there. Well, it's Fiona. Today we're going to make this cushion, and it's quite a striking design and very simple to do. So I'm going to take you through the cutting and the sewing, and yeah, hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Hello there. Okay, so first steps. What do we have? We have our cloth. We have two buttons the same size, but they don't need to be matching. And we have a cushion size template. Now this in a way is so easy. All we need to do is we need to cut 3 strips, one of them slightly larger than the circle. We need to cut a strip of the width of the circle, and we need to cut another strip the same size as the first circle. And then we need to cut 2 squares that are large enough to cover the buttons and a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to mark the circle. I have a pin here in the cushion, and I'm going to roll it round and roll to the end. Yeah, so easy enough. And then I'm going to cut 3 strips the same length. We don't need to worry about hem allowance, and this is a cheat, this really is. So I'm going to take my squares out of the way, and all I need to do is right side to right side and sew these 3 strips together, putting the thinner, the one for the width, in the middle. So let's get these lined up. I'm going to use quite a small stitch. I'm using very thin fabric. This doesn't work with thick fabric. I suppose the thickest you can go is with cotton. So putting my stitch length down, a couple of reverse stitches. I do need to leave a hole to turn it in. Hello there and welcome back. Okay, so I left you and I was just doing the button. I have just started doing the zigzag string thing. So basically what you do is you set your machine to a zigzag, and then you steer a piece of string in between, and this means that you can gather it up quite simply. Now the other way to do it is you have your button. Let's just finish the button, shall we? So placing the button in the centre, picking up all 4 corners, and then with a piece of thread or a needle and thread, depending on who you are, and what you've got to hand, then you can just wind this round the button. And it is sort of a cheat for covered buttons, and of course if you want to, you can get hold of covered buttons. If not, we can just make do with this, and it works out quite well. So I've given myself enough there to hold on to. You know, I've used quite a lot of square, and what I would do is I would place the button upside down so that it would be the right side out, and then I would take 1, 2, keep all my corners, making sure I didn't have any flappy bits, and then I would hand sew it in. Or we can do the zigzag round the piece of string. So all I'm doing now is I'm just pulling that round. When it's got to a suitable size, just to put the button through, then I'll put the button there. If I did it too early, then obviously it just caused me problems. So you can see it's getting quite small now. Make sure all these bits are out of the way, place the button there, and then finish. Now the reason I did the string on the second half, because I did the first half, was because the first half didn't look very tidy at all, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, I've placed my thumb and my forefinger on either side of the button. I can see that I've got all my flappy bits out of the way, and then with a piece of string or with a piece of cotton works better, I'm just going to tighten this all up. Now it is a case of tighten, wiggle, pull through, adjust, and everything else like that. It is a tricky thing, and this one I would put a knot in this side. Okay, so as you do that enough. All right, now I get to turn it inside out. So I've left my hole on the side, and you can see that that's quite tidy, and you can adjust it with a pin, And if we go on to this side, you can see that it's quite untidy, and this is the one where I did the corners. Alright, so I'm going to get this ready for stuffing, and then I'm going to hand sew it afterwards, and you'll be able to see the finished design. Hi, welcome back. Okay, I'm just stitching this together, and I'm careful to try and get the stitches invisible, so a long line and then a little stitch, and these stitches, they should fold inwards. Okay, so I'm just finishing up here. I'm not going to line it in the respect of making a smaller cushion and then putting a zip on this one, because I think the fabric's so delicate that it wouldn't respond well. And in this day and age, we have all sorts of methods of cleaning a small pillow that don't involve, washing. So, okay, so I'm just finishing up there. Before I finish, I just want to say that if you're not happy with your circle, you can always put a couple of stitches in and just rearrange it so it's a bit more of a sort of layered pattern. And it is also quite good to put stitches in it. If you've got like a young nephew or something, you know, they will sit there and they will just twiddle this. So you can always just pick up a stitch at the back and you can just tidy it up. I've got a couple of loose threads there, so I will do that. Anyway, really simple thing to do. You know, it's literally just the 3 strips, and good fun and something unique. Alright, thanks ever so much for watching. My name's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee.